Hello ladies and gentlemen, this is Blue Maxima, and welcome to Pros and Cons, the first impression series where I don't have a catchphrase yet because this is a prototype. And for the prototype video, it's going to be a game I actually like for the ones. With that said, welcome to Call of Juarez Gunslinger.
In fact, I felt a certain hostility.
Exile Green. What the hell?
Wasn't in the mood for idle talk.
Call of Juarez Gunslinger takes a notably light-hearted approach to its world than its older brothers. The majority of the game is merely some old hunting stories from fictional bounty hunter Silas Greaves, being told to a bar of ever so slowly more unbelieving patrons, and Colonel Campbell putting on an accent.
Personally, I'd like to hear some of your other adventures. Like, I don't know, did you ever go toe-to-toe with a red man?
The upside to the way the story's told, both in and out of the game, is that Silas is actually kind of a shit storyteller. He often can't remember details about the conflict and has to correct himself, or even gets corrected by his companions.
The brothers paid dearly for their stupidity, but everybody knows they had it coming.
There's more to it than that. I read all about that day, so I know for a fact that it went down very differently.
This plays out in the game as the level changing itself on the fly. You might go down one route, end up dead, then the game rewinds and lets you take another route. It's usually more of an enemy swap or a hidden passage more than a massive change along those lines. But the way it keeps playing with your expectations as to what's next is great, and it's what elevates the game from average to memorable. The actual gameplay though is rootin', tootin', cowboy shootin' in pretty arcadey style. You've got 3 guns, your magnums, your mid-range workhorses, a shotgun that hurts like a truck but can't reach further than 10 feet, and a rifle that can pick out a fly at 100 feet. Swapping between them on the fly as you need to helps keep your combo and score up for bonus experience, which you can spend on the usual set of perk trees in the story. Thankfully, the perks are actually pretty helpful. There's things like faster reloads, dual-wielding magnums, more benefits to your special abilities, and the trees are balanced enough that going down all of them is beneficial no matter what you do. You've got the ability to go into slow time mode every now and again and wipe out a group of enemies all at once, and the slow to recharge ability to dodge a bullet to save your life every now and again is vital in keeping the pace up. While the gunplay by itself isn't extraordinary, these little extra touches to encourage speed and precision help give it that little extra kick that it needs to be as satisfying as it is.
I had a steep climb up creek ahead of me and scrambled up those rocks like a mountain goat.
The levels proper are interspersed with duels, which while having tip-top atmosphere, I can't actually stand when it comes to playing them. They're slow, they're sluggish to control, and surprisingly luck dependent at the end of the day. While there's a fair few levels with varying locales and bosses to fight, they're all quite short, made up for with the previously mentioned unreliable narrator often eking a few extra minutes out of each level, and a few secrets around the place to go find. I love the Nuggets of Truth, the traditional extra hidden collectible, but not only do they give you enough extra XP to be worth seeking out at the end of the day, they unlock these great little tidbits on how the world worked at the time. The heroes, the villains, the way of life, and just the real history that's going on behind the scenes of this entirely fictional tale. It really gives it that real-world grounding to what would otherwise be a work of complete fiction, and I loved reading all of them as I found them. The playtime is extended with the arcade mode. You replace story levels with a separate set of more focused classes, modified layouts to the levels, and a bunch more danger. Many more enemies spawn in than usual, really pushing the gunplay to the limit. You need to put a lot of effort in to keep up your combo to the end of a stage without dying, making going for that one perfect run all the more satisfying, then doing it again with a different weapon set and a different set of challenges as a result. There's also a duel mode, an end-on-end string of ever harder duels that I never touch because I still hate duels. With that said though, for the price that the game usually goes at, story and arcade alone are enough content to keep me satisfied, and it goes on sale pretty often to boot, to the point where this Switch version is actually my third copy. The game certainly has a unique presentation to it, with the cel-shaded realism mix giving the game a not entirely unique, but still stylish and enjoyable presentation that still manages to hold up today, with the hand-drawn cutscene art being a particular highlight. The only real downside is the quality of the Switch port that is being played for this video. The frame rate isn't all that great, the gyro controls are a bit iffy even with the Pro Controller, and there's some features missing from the other versions like the leaderboards for the arcade and the dual side modes that really helped add a little bit of extra score attack potential. While it isn't an awful way to play the game by any stretch of the imagination, it's easier to recommend any other version than this one if you've got the ability to get your hands on them these days. They never came out on the PlayStation 4 or the Xbox One. The only one that is really still accessible today is the PC. As a result, I highly recommend you check out Call of Juarez Gunslinger if the amount of pros early on in the video didn't sum it up for you. The gunplay is fun, the story is great, there's enough content to justify the price, and it looks pretty good in the process doing it even on the Switch. Just don't give the duels much attention, you'll be passing the whiskey in no time. Thanks for watching the video. This is just a prototype, so feel free to leave your opinions in the comments. I know it's not that much different at the moment. I had some more complex ideas for this video, but none of them really gelled together in the same way and didn't really give that feeling of first impressions that I like to do about these videos. So yeah, just please talk about the video in the comments. That might give me some ideas on where to take this format. I'll be doing something similar along these lines for the demos that I played earlier on this week, so hopefully we'll see if I can actually make something interesting out of that. Either way, see you all next time.